Good morning, everyone. My name is Donald, and I'm delighted to have you here today.
And I'm Kim. Welcome to our English Learning Podcast, where we discuss meaningful topics while helping you improve your language skills.
Today, we're going to talk about something profoundly important: how not to waste your life. This is a topic that I think about quite often, especially as I get older.
It's such a crucial conversation, Donald. I remember when I was in my 20s, I didn't think much about time. I thought I had forever. But now, I realize how precious every single day is.
Exactly, Kim. And I want to share something personal with you all. A few years ago, I met an elderly man at a coffee shop. He was sitting alone, staring out the window. I don't know what compelled me to do this, but I sat down next to him and asked if he was okay.
That was kind of you, Donald. What did he say?
He looked at me with these tired eyes and said, "Young man, I wasted 40 years of my life in a job I hated, and now I'm too old to do what I always dreamed of doing." Those words hit me like a punch to the stomach. I was 35 at the time, working in a career that made me miserable.
That must have been a wake-up call for you. I had a similar moment myself. My grandmother passed away 2 years ago, and before she died, she told me, "Kim, I spent too much time worrying about what other people thought. I wish I had been braver."
I'm sorry for your loss, Kim, but you're right. These moments teach us invaluable lessons. So today, I want us to explore what it actually means to waste your life, and more importantly, how we can avoid doing that.
Let's start with the basics, Donald. What does wasting your life really mean? I think many people hear this phrase and feel anxious, but they're not sure what it actually entails.
That's an excellent question. In my opinion, wasting your life means spending your days doing things that don't align with your values, your passions, or your purpose. It means letting fear control your decisions. It means postponing your dreams indefinitely.
I agree with that definition. I would add that wasting your life also means not investing in relationships that matter. I've seen this happen to people around me. They focus entirely on their careers, making money, climbing the corporate ladder, and then one day they wake up and realize they're alone.
That's heartbreaking, and unfortunately, it's all too common. I witnessed this with my own father. He was a successful businessman, very wealthy, very respected in his industry, but he missed my school plays, my graduation, my wedding. He was always working. When he retired at 65, he wanted to reconnect with the family, but by then, the relationships were damaged. He died 3 years later, and I believe he died with deep regret.
That's a painful story, Donald. It reminds me that success without meaningful relationships is not really success at all. We need balance in our lives, but achieving that balance is challenging, isn't it?
Incredibly challenging. Our society glorifies being busy. If you're not exhausted, if you're not stressed, people assume you're not working hard enough. I fell into that trap myself. For years, I worked 12, 14-hour days. I was proud of my exhaustion. I wore it like a badge of honor.
I understand that mentality completely. When I started my career, I did the same thing. I thought that working longer hours meant I was more dedicated, more valuable. But what I learned, and this took me years to understand, is that productivity isn't about time spent, it's about focus and intention.
Absolutely right, Kim. And here's something I want our listeners to really think about. Every hour you spend doing something you don't care about is an hour you'll never get back. Time is the only resource we cannot renew. You can make more money, you can repair relationships, you can learn new skills, but you cannot create more time.
That perspective is sobering, Donald. So let me ask you this. How do we identify what truly matters to us? Many people feel lost. They don't know what they want from life.
I struggled with this question myself, Kim. What helped me was a simple exercise. I imagined myself at 80 years old, sitting in a chair, looking back at my life. I asked myself, what would I regret not doing? What experiences would I wish I had pursued? What relationships would I wish I had nurtured?
That's a powerful exercise. When I did something similar, I realized I was spending too much energy on things that wouldn't matter in the long run. I was worrying about my neighbor's opinion of my garden, stressing about whether my car was impressive enough, comparing my life to what I saw on social media.
Social media has made this problem worse, hasn't it? We're constantly comparing ourselves to others. We see their highlight reels and judge our entire lives against those carefully curated moments. I had to delete several apps from my phone because I noticed they were making me feel inadequate.
I respect that decision, Donald. I limited my social media use as well. Now I check it maybe once a week instead of countless times per day. The change in my mental health has been remarkable. I feel more present, more content with my own journey.
That brings me to another crucial point about not wasting your life: being present. I used to be physically present, but mentally absent. I would be having dinner with my wife, but thinking about work emails. I would be playing with my children, but worrying about deadlines. I was never truly there.
That's something I still struggle with, to be honest. My mind often wanders to the future, what I need to do tomorrow, next week, next month. I'm working on mindfulness practices to help with this. Simple things like paying attention to my breathing, noticing the sensations in my body, actually listening when people speak instead of planning my response.
Those practices matter, Kim. And I want to emphasize this to our listeners. Being present doesn't mean you shouldn't plan for the future. Of course you should. But there's a difference between thoughtful planning and constant anxiety about what's coming next.
Absolutely. So Donald, let's talk about something practical. What are some specific ways people can avoid wasting their lives? Give us concrete actions.
All right, here's what I've learned through my own experience and observations. First, identify your core values. What actually matters to you? Not what your parents think should matter, not what society says should matter, but what you genuinely care about. For me, those values are family, creativity, learning, and helping others.
Once you know your values, everything becomes clearer, doesn't it? You can evaluate opportunities and commitments based on whether they align with what you care about.
Exactly. Second, learn to say no. This is critical, Kim. Many people waste their lives because they cannot say no. They take on commitments they don't want because they're afraid of disappointing others. I was terrible at this. I said yes to everything. Committees I didn't care about, social events I didn't want to attend, projects that drained my energy.
Learning to say no is a skill I had to develop intentionally. At first, I felt guilty every time I declined something, but then I realized that every time I say yes to something that doesn't matter, I'm saying no to something that does matter. It's a trade-off.
That's brilliant, Kim. Every yes to the wrong thing is a no to the right thing. I'm going to remember that phrase. Third point, invest in experiences, not just possessions. I'm not saying material things are bad, but I've noticed that the happiest moments in my life weren't when I bought a new car or a bigger house. They were moments of connection, adventure, learning, growth.
I completely agree. I traveled to Japan last year by myself. It was frightening at first. I don't speak Japanese, I didn't know anyone there, but that trip changed me. I learned so much about myself, about different cultures, about what I'm capable of. That experience is worth more to me than any physical object I own.
Those experiences shape who we are. Fourth, take care of your health. I cannot stress this enough. I've seen people work themselves into illness, sacrificing their bodies for career advancement. What's the point of success if you're too sick to enjoy it?
This is something I wish I had understood earlier, Donald. I neglected my health for years. I ate poorly, didn't exercise, slept too little. I thought I was being productive, but I was actually destroying myself. Now I prioritize sleep, exercise regularly, and eat nutritious food. The difference in my energy, my mood, my mental clarity is enormous.
Your health is your foundation, Kim. Everything else builds on that. Fifth point, pursue meaningful work. Now, I understand that not everyone has the luxury of choosing their ideal career. Financial responsibilities are real, but even within constraints, we can look for meaning. We can ask ourselves, how does my work contribute to something larger than myself?
And if your current work doesn't feel meaningful, you can create meaning outside of it. Volunteer work, creative projects, community involvement. I have a friend who works in accounting, not his passion at all, but he volunteers teaching music to underprivileged children every weekend. That gives his life tremendous meaning.
That's a perfect example, Kim. Sixth, cultivate deep relationships. Superficial connections are everywhere, but deep, authentic relationships are rare and precious. These are the relationships where you can be vulnerable, where you're truly known and accepted.
I've learned that quality matters far more than quantity when it comes to relationships. I used to think I needed hundreds of friends. Now I realize that having 5 people who truly know me and care about me is infinitely more valuable than having 500 acquaintances.
Absolutely. And deep relationships require time and effort. You can't rush intimacy. You can't schedule vulnerability. These connections develop through consistent presence, through shared experiences, through showing up during difficult times.
Donald, we're approaching the end of our time today, but I want to ask you something important. What would you say to someone listening right now and feeling like they've already wasted years of their life? How can they move forward without being consumed by regret?
That's such an important question, Kim. First, I would say this. Regret can be either destructive or constructive. Destructive regret paralyzes you. It keeps you focused on the past in a way that prevents you from moving forward. Constructive regret teaches you lessons and motivates you to make different choices going forward.
So it's about learning from the past without living in it.
Exactly. And here's what I truly believe. It is never too late to change direction. I know that sounds like a cliche, but I've witnessed it personally. I met a woman who went back to university at 55 to study art history, something she had always wanted to do. I know a man who started his first business at 62 after retiring from a career he never enjoyed.
Those stories are inspiring. They remind us that as long as we are alive, we have the opportunity to make different choices.
Yes, and I want to say something else to anyone feeling like they've wasted time. Be compassionate with yourself. You made the best decisions you could with the information, resources, and emotional capacity you had at the time. You cannot change the past, but you can honor it by making the present and future count.
That's beautifully said, Donald. I think self-compassion is often overlooked when we talk about personal growth and life purpose. We're so harsh with ourselves.
We are, and that harshness doesn't serve us. What serves us is honest self-reflection combined with kindness. Acknowledge what you regret, learn from it, and then make a deliberate choice to live differently moving forward.
So, to summarize for our listeners, identify your values, learn to say no, invest in experiences, take care of your health, pursue meaningful work, cultivate deep relationships, and be compassionate with yourself. Those are actionable steps anyone can begin implementing today.
Well said, Kim. And I want to leave everyone with one final thought. Your life is happening right now. Not when you get that promotion, not when you lose 20 pounds, not when you find the perfect relationship. Right now, in this moment, your life is unfolding. The question is, are you present for it? Are you intentional about it? Are you living in alignment with what matters most to you?
Those are profound questions to sit with, Donald. I encourage everyone listening to take some time today, even just 15 minutes, to reflect on them. Write down your thoughts. Talk to someone you trust. Take one small action that moves you closer to the life you want to be living.
Because ultimately, not wasting your life isn't about grand gestures or dramatic changes. It's about small, consistent choices that align with your deepest values. It's about being present. It's about connecting authentically. It's about pursuing what gives your life meaning and purpose.
Thank you so much for this conversation, Donald. I know I'll be thinking about it for days to come.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you to everyone who listened today. We hope this conversation has given you something valuable to think about as you continue your English learning journey, and, more importantly, as you navigate your life.
Remember, every day is an opportunity to choose differently, to live more intentionally, to stop wasting the precious gift of time you've been given.
Until next time, take care of yourselves and make your time count.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.